Okay. Hi, Matias. How are you?
Hi, Doug. Good. How are you?
Doing fine, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. Nice to see you. So, you are the founder and CEO of BRG International, which, as we were just talking about, you're in Miami, and it's a multidisciplinary luxury real estate brokerage. What does multidisciplinary mean?
First of all, thank you for having me in your show. I really appreciate being here. Um, Let me explain a little bit why we call ourselves multidisciplinary. I actually started as a real estate agent when I was 19 years old, and then I went to college to study architecture. So, after I graduated, I incorporated the design, architectural, construction, um, all those aspects into the real estate brokerage. Being from Brazil, I'm originally from Brazil. We ended up helping, because I graduated in 2008, right after the Great Recession. And there's really no architecture business to do at that time. So, what I started doing is I started going to Brazil and I started to do events and um, large explanation seminars to investors to showcase how the United States was a great investment opportunity back in 2008, 9, and 10. And I was able to bring a lot of Brazilian, because I'm originally from Brazil, a lot of Brazilian investors to invest in the South Florida real estate market. And at that time, the high-end properties, they were, unfinished. So you'd buy a very nice oceanfront condo in the ocean, but you'd still need to do flooring and decorate it, make it look livable. And these clients would ask me because I had the background if I could do it. So I would end up doing the design and then the construction, and then we have a property management division as well. So it grew, the business grew over time. Uh, this is 12 years later now, and then we do a lot of these services to our clients, especially being in Miami, where a lot of the people that buy real estate there are really not from there. They're coming from somewhere else. So we're able to assist these clients in all these spectrums. So we call ourselves multidisciplinary because of that.
So, you would actually, because your background is in architecture, you would actually design the building and then go look for investors to fund it. And then once the building was built, you would sell the units as well?
Well, so what I did initially, starting out, was mostly condos that already built. So you would have these, back in 2008, you'd have
Oh, so it's sort
an
of like,
immense,
okay.
immense amount of construction going on in South Florida, right? So you'd have these multi-million dollar condos just sitting there. Nobody was buying it. But they were essentially raw inside. You'd still need to finish them. So this is how I would incorporate architecture and the construction part of my background into the business with the clients. We would come in and, you know, design and build all these units. Um,
You'd finish them. You'd finish
Finish
them.
them,
Right.
yes, the interior side of it. And then we ended up doing homes as well. We did high-end homes, like very large homes, like 14,000 square foot homes, 12,000 square foot homes. So we would do also, some clients would ask us, they couldn't find a house that they were looking for. So they said, well, why don't we just build it? So we would help them buy a piece of land, and then we would design the home, and then we would build it for them or assist them building it. So we were able to provide all these services because of my background. And then I started adding people that have the similar background, so we would be able to do these things for our clients.
Oh, okay. So if I wanted just to custom build a house, I could come to you and you could go through the whole process with me, right?
Yeah, yeah. So essentially a brokerage, a architecture company, a construction company, and a property management company. They all focuses, in uh, one objective, which is to deal with luxury properties in South Florida. And then later on, I ended up, getting into investing in real estate. So I'm part of a development in Palm Beach Gardens with this company called Kenko Communities. So we're doing 107 homes for clients that, we have a few models. We have 5 models, and they can come in and they choose a model, and then um, they choose a piece of land. We have 107 sites. Now we're 60 homes already sold. So we have, 47 sites available. You pick one, and then we build one of the models for you. And these are homes, in Palm Beach Gardens. These are homes starting at $1.6 million, which is pretty good, for that area. And everything is new and beautiful.
Features in homes have been changing over the years. And what is it now? I mean, it used to be like a few years ago, maybe it still is, that people wanted the big open space, living room, kitchen, dining area, all open, not separate rooms for all of these things. What is it now that's the big thing that everybody seems to want?
Well, it really depends on the person, right? So we have clients that they're in Miami, and they want to they want to throw parties, and they want to entertain a lot. So you do see a lot of people still wanting very large open spaces for entertainment. But I see, especially after COVID, a trend where, if you're stuck in your house with your family, you might want to have space, individual space. So maybe the large open space, uh, in a time where you're doing a lot of video conferencing, etc., might not work as well. You might want to have a family room which is a little bit more enclosed for your kids, and then you have, your office space. But it really depends on the lifestyle of the person. If you're just you and your wife, then you might be okay with a large open space, and you have a few extra rooms to spare. And whereas if you have a big family, then you really need to think about the configuration of your house, so you have a little bit of more privacy.
I suppose in Florida, people would really want nice finished outdoor spaces because you can be outside for pretty much most of the year, yeah?
Yeah, you know, South Florida, you have a very good weather year round. Um, Summer is a little bit warm, so what a lot of people do, they leave. They're not there. But the previous few summers, I've noticed that we were actually cooler than a lot of other places. Um, and I've seen a little bit of a trend of people staying more often in summer in South Florida. But typically summer, you want to be by the water or the beach or doing things that you get a little bit more refreshed. And then on the winter, like after fall, the weather is just incredible. Like to be outside in South Florida in the winter is just an amazing feel. Like you get that it's not cold, and you get that nice breeze weather. You can be outside. It's just very nice to be there at that time.
Let me ask you something about the real estate market generally in the United States. Do you think we're on a downtrend right now? I mean, for the last few years, in certain places, it was definitely a seller's market. Do you think it's going to be more of a buyer's market coming up?
Real estate is very local, right? So it really depends where you are.
Okay.
Um, every market acts differently, but in general, in the United States, we've seen a huge uptick in property prices because of the pandemic and people, buying properties and the low interest rates. Um, you already see with the stats that the interest rates coming up is slowing down the market, and there's a lot of contracts being canceled. There's prices being reduced in general. I do think that we still have a very large deficit in housing in general, affordable and medium and high end homes. And I can tell you a little bit more about the South Florida market, where you see Florida, for example, still getting a lot of people moving to Florida and South Florida. So even though we've noticed some prices have come down, because of they went up a lot during the pandemic, you still see an absorption of inventory. So I think that means that whatever market you still have an inflow of people, you should expect the inventory to be absorbed. There might be, easier to negotiate a property. You might not have 20 people bidding in the same house, but I don't see prices dropping like 2008, like it happened during the Great Depression, unless we do have a depression, which a recession, which I don't see having a very large recession. I think it would just be a slowdown, in my opinion. But it's something that we have to wait and see.
Okay, what's the median home price where you are?
In South Florida, you have to understand that the medium home price in South Florida is very different than the medium home price where we actually work with. The medium home price in South Florida should be anywhere between $400,000 and $500,000. Where we typically work with an average price of $5 million for the homes that we work with. So we've sold homes, it's definitely above $1 million on the ocean side, Miami. So we work mostly on that strip of land that you see from South Beach all the way to Bal Harbor, Sunny Isles, and Golden Beach, South Florida. So we get all the waterfront, and the median price there is definitely closer to the $2 million range, but our specific average price is about $5 million.
Okay, well, you're in the very high end of the real estate market there, yeah.
Correct. Yeah, we're the ultra luxury in
Ultra
South
luxury.
Florida.
So if I had $500,000 to spend, I'm not going to get oceanfront probably.
Unless you're interested in getting a studio.
So a studio, you could get a little tiny place on the ocean. Maybe.
You could get, like in Miami Beach, there's studios, there's one bedrooms for, even less than that. You could get it. Yeah.
Really? Right on the beach?
Or
across?
On the beach, you could get, you could get a small unit on the beach, Miami Beach, for around that price, or less.
Well, I think for a single person, that would be great. If they just want to look at the ocean, they can deal with having 600 square feet.
And you don't need to be in Miami Beach either. You could go up north. If you go to Fort Lauderdale, you could get something nice as well. There's a lot of options. We mainly focus on the ultra luxury because, that's the market I focused from the start. But there are, all kinds of options in South Florida, for any price range. You could be there. It's not something that it's impossible to be there.
Well, I think on that, we're going to have to wind this down. We are kind of running out of time. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Do you have a website that you want to give out?
Yeah, for sure. So you can see our properties is www.brgintl.com. So it's BRG International, B as in boy, R as in Robert, G as in Gary, International, INTL.com. And then if you want to check out our homes, the projects we've done, you can check out brg.studio. It's www.brg.studio. There's nothing else. And then you can see our projects, the homes that I'm talking about, the condos. You can see everything in there.
Okay, great. Well, Matias, thanks so much for coming on the show. Again, nice meeting you, and best of luck with everything you're doing.
Very nice to meet you too. Thank you for everything. Thank you for having me.